Hi, welcome into this loan builder review. I'm going to show you everything you need to know about this loan program. The quality of service, is it legitimate? Will it be helpful to you? Pros and cons, alternatives, and so much more. Now, I won't waste any more time. Let's get started. Now, this is Loan Builder, a PayPal service. Now, you don't have to have an actual PayPal account. They're just acquired by PayPal. Two different things. Now, there is PayPal Working Capital, which I'll leave a review for down below in the description. If it isn't there right now, it'll be there in time. But that's where kind of operates like a merchant cash advance, but not exactly. More of a loan type where whatever sales you get through PayPal, they're able to deduct a percentage of those sales you make. Now, that's not what Loan Builder does. Again, that's with working capital through PayPal. But this is the company we're looking at, and I'm going to go through some of the qualifications. It's very slim here in the website. It gives you more of an FAQ and how to get in touch with customer support and just some of the terms of use, but it doesn't give you all the information you need to make an educated decision to say, will this help me with my business? And if you're questioning, is this for startups? It isn't. So the time in business, you need to have at least 9 months. And now that's a little bit of a higher requirement. We're talking closer to a year, more established. And we haven't even touched on the amount of revenue, which I'll get into in a second here. But if you are a startup looking for a small business loan, a cash advance, an alternative solution, look down below in the description for more information of that. Now, as a non-startup with 9 months in business, now, what you are required is to have at least 42,000 in annual, which if you divided that by 12 months, we reverse engineer, right? You get about 3,000 plus 3,500 more or less around that range. And that is very minimal, especially when you have other companies who are asking for at least a minimum of 5,000, but 3,500 seems a little unrealistic nowadays. So in term, they're going to look at it and say, okay, well, how is your FICO score? Can we allow that to happen? And the minimum requirement to that is a 620 FICO. Now, I know that looks like a little bit out there if you are somebody with a more bad, poor credit score. With a 620, we're getting a little bit more into we're passing a little bit of the fairness. We're getting more into the good. Not great yet, but with that type of a FICO credit score, it can qualify you with the 9 months in business, 42,000 plus annually. Now, is there any kind of collateral involved in this? There is no collateral in this, but there is a blanket lien. So that meaning if you were to default on any of this, then the lender can take away any asset and any business assets. Okay, and that's where we get into the whole unsecured versus secured type of collateral and stuff like this. But that's what it is. Not exactly a collateral per se, but if you do default, then the lender has the ability to take any of those business assets. So that's kind of a downside of this. And I get that comes with loans. You'll traditionally see that. Not so much of a high stake in collateral in a sense where you're giving up your home and things like that, some type of real estate property. But nonetheless, you will have to give up something. And these are weekly payments. So that's a bit of an advantage if you look at it from that point of view. Most types of loans, you would expect there to be a monthly. We're getting into the more alternative side of things. So we're looking at it from a weekly perspective, sometimes bi-weekly. But there are other ones like cash advances. Could be an MCA, it could be a hybrid amount, but those would be more expected to be daily, sometimes weekly. That's what you'll see across the whole board. If you're like, why do I keep seeing these daily advances, these types of business loans? Well, that's how it happens to be in the alternative lending space, especially when you know you're getting a fixed rate. And from day to day, you're getting a daily micro auto payment deducted from your business checking account. Daily, it's given to you something that you can handle. We'll never give you something you cannot. So, I mean, a bit of an advantage for weekly. These are more shorter term lengths. So you're looking at about 52 weeks, closer to 12 months, closer to the year mark. And I know that the interest rates can be higher. PRs, we're looking at a higher interest rate on that side. And so with the 12 months about given, then that can be strenuous if you're looking for a more long-term solution. Those longer business term loans are a little bit more difficult to get, just so you know. We're looking at over 100,000 in annual revenue with more years in business, at least 2+ years in business. They do factor in higher risks, so you'll see higher interest rates, APRs, even factor rates involved in some of these. And then there are those fees that you have to look into and the origination fees. So while they may be good to get, they are actually very difficult to get. They're more or less kind of like the SBA loans, where you can get an application and you may not be able to, and it can take a while to get it. A little less with business term loans than they are in SBA, but nonetheless a little bit difficult to get. So that's why I recommend getting a short-term solution that you can pay off within. There are short ones where you can do 4 to 6 months, and there are those that you can do about 6 or 4 to 24 month ranges, which are still a little bit in that short-term range, but they give you above 12 months, which is great. You can get up to 24 months, 2 years. Like, that's great if you have a quick turnaround where you need that lump sum of money to be able to use it for expenses. You have payroll you have to meet, you have bills, you have marketing and advertising budgets, inventory, cash flow, emergency funds, for more equipment. The list goes on and on. Then a cash advance will serve you well, especially in that growth and expansion phase. And if you are looking for a better solution for a cash advance, whether it is a more short-term solution, then I recommend looking into a company like David Allen Capital Link, which you see on your screen here. You can get up to $2 million incredibly fast funding within a day of approval, funds within 1 to 2 days, as much as a week, depending on your circumstances. You can even get up to 25,000 same-day instant approval funding with the lowest requirements in this industry you're going to find. This is unparalleled. You will not find something else out there like this. And if it is a copy. And we have the best lenders with this that can help you in any industry, unlike with business loan builder. Let's go over here. You don't get service for every industry. They will be picky about who they service. And so you have to be aware of that and look at that information. And also the time in business with the higher interest rates. Something with like David Allen Capital and their program, they don't deal with interest rates. That's right. We don't do any kind of collateral. We don't do any kind of business lien. We don't do any kind of hard credit checks. We do a soft pull, meaning that we don't report it to the 3 credit bureaus, and then the Dun & Bradstreet and all that, that would affect your credit score. We don't do that shotgun approach where we send your information off to other lenders and see what they can get you. They can spam you. We don't do any of that here. This is a free, no hidden costs, and you get early pay discounts. Payment history will earn you more. Add-on funds are available. So if you don't get exactly the amount you wanted, then you can always add on more. And so this is instant approval, 5,000 plus monthly in bank revenue, business checking account, 6 months in business, less than LoanBuilder, as we just saw, 450 plus FICO credit score, not that 620 that you're looking at. And then we're looking at the time for the terms, we're looking at 13 to 52 weeks for LoanBuilder, as opposed to with just the up to 25,000 program here, you get 4 to 6 months. I know it's a little shorter, but this is just a smaller service. If you wanted the DAC up to 2 million, you can get 4 to 24 months, more or less in that range, with just total payback. We're not dealing with interest rates that are very confusing to people. And that's another problem with the LoanBuilder platform is they say it's an easy application process, but from what I've experienced, the little bit of time to wait, and 2, it can be a little bit of a hassle and a little bit of a process to go through. And I'm sure you don't want to go through all that and then having to deal with the interest rates and then the way shorter time frame for getting from 5,000 to 500,000. It may not benefit you the best. So here are just some little FAQs to look through. And very quickly here, let me see if I can come back here to this. Accidentally clicked the button there, but we have the PayPal working capital. Just wanted to show you this tab. I'll be going through that review in another video, not in this one. Should look out for that. Now, if we're looking for reviews on this company, there were once with Swift Financial, so you're going to see a lot of the reviews under them. Now, if we come up here, we're going to review some of them. Easy money, horrible customer service, easy to get money, but once you do, they ghost you. If you need any kind of customer service for, say, changing the bank account drafts, are coming out of they will never apply horrible customer service, which is kind of contradicting because uh, many people will say they have great customer service, and I've dealt with them a little bit, and they haven't done bad. But it happens to be where after you get service, that's where they will kind of like, hey, we're going to work with people who need the help, who haven't gotten a loan from us. So you got to look at it from that point of view. Was awesome. He was honest and fast to respond. My loan was funded within hours and he made it so easy. This is my second time funding with them. And I will do it again when this is done. Really appreciate the effort put in. I honestly am not dealing with PayPal. I honestly am not dealing with this partnership with this company. PayPal could have definitely picked a way more reputable lending partner. There's nothing good about feeling scammed. As soon as my $57,500 loan was funded with Lightspeed, I finally saw the origination fee that was being waived, now called an original fee amount of $7,911.54. Nick Ravine swore no origination fees and no prepayment penalties. So now the jig is up. I call him back and call him on, and there's no defeating the silence. So you can see the frustration going on there with this person. Shady company. I was denied for a PPP loan forgiveness from them, and this is something that they've had. I'm not saying that the PPP loan is opened at this time, but they applied for the PPP loan for forgiveness through them and was denied with no reason after email after email. I finally got through to someone via the telephone, and they said it was denied due to documents submitted. The gag is that no documents were requested. She stated that they used the documents that I applied with, but how if the money is used after you apply? I have a balance due to them, and I'm currently in the appeal process of money of which they still didn't tell me that was submitted with the appeal. I don't think they are properly applying for forgiveness just to get a higher interest rate from customers. So you have to be very careful of that. And some people saying great things, did not use this company, and this person wrote a long review there. Unexpected decision, LoanBuilder PPP SBA 5 months later. So you can see a lot of people having problems with the PPP loans and what they've had to go through them. Now let me come back over here. So take it with a grain of salt, the good and the bad reviews. You'll get people who do write good ones, and not necessarily do they mean they are a viable solution. It's just people that could be marketing their platform, people working for them, saying, hey, let's go write a good review for them. Some people that have success, others haven't. It just depends on your positioning. And let's see over here, your fees are high, which is true. Loan closer, very pushy and wanted. Expensive money for the poor business, high prepaid interest rates, push you until you sign and they abandon you. So that's something that I very dislike, and you'll see that along many different platforms. You give them your number, your information, they call you, especially with online marketplaces where they acquire lenders that pay a fee to be on their platform, who will disperse the information to them. It might be a hard credit pull in that example, but just be very careful of all this and mindful of it. Now, just to kind of round up the video, if you haven't checked my free 6-step pre-approval lending checklist, where you can get step-by-step help in a walkthrough that will show you what you need before you walk into an application, so that with a matter of fact, you get approved without wasting time. We're talking about days, weeks, months, and even years. You walk into this application and you know for a 110% fact, and you're confident and certain you will get approved without, again, wasting that time and effort and energy. Then check this out. It is free. It'll be down below in the description. Pick it up. There's a lot of bonus content in there. I'm sure you're going to love it. And then I also have this document I'm going to leave down below, a contact form, where I will follow up with you as long as you give me all the credible information in this form. Be trustworthy with me. This doesn't hurt your credit. It'll just fire into my email. You'll hear back from me. We'll have a conversation. I just want to make sure all the information is where it needs to be right away. Let's not waste each other's time. Please, I don't want to be digging for information. I have a lot of people I deal with on a daily basis who really need the help and are being front-worth with me. So again, I'm just asking for little things like name, email, phone number, funding amount that's being requested. What's your FICO? Time in business, if none, put 0 if you're a startup. Monthly sales, lowest month out of the last 3, use of funds, and any additional notes you'd like me to know about. Once I have all that information, I make a better informed decision on what type of service I can give you, and then I'll give you some follow-up questions, more qualifying questions if need be, how it works, and then send you off on your way. Now, that is everything down below in the description. Again, go ahead and check that out with the rest of the reviews. And if you were looking for an SBA loan alternative, David Allen Capital is here to help. If you cannot get that SBA or you're currently waiting, it will not affect it. Go ahead and check this out. Up to 2 million, up to 25,000, as low as a 450 FICO. If you're looking for up to 2 million program, 500 plus, 20,000 plus monthly bank revenue. And if you're not doing that, you have the Bank Breezy with 5,000, over 700 different industries served, way more, no interest rates involved, and that will be down below, so you can go ahead and check that out. Hopefully you enjoyed this video review. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. I'll make sure to answer them right away. And for all other information for faster access, in the description, my information, email, different links to these programs like David Allen Capital, my free checklist, and a bunch more, and therefore. Okay, thank you.